is Charles on my Wraith of Game Warriors Gaming for Calls, and this is Unscripted. On today's episode of Unscripted, we'll be talking about cookie cutter problems and blanket solutions. So, this is not a new concept, this is not a new revelation or anything like that. The world tries to cookie cut the problems and give us blanket solutions that are going to fix everything, and that's just not the way it works. We as humans, we as individuals are very fluid. We change. The way we were yesterday is not the way we were the way we are today. It's not the way we were 10 years ago, so on and so forth. We adapt, we change, we flow with the changes, or we should. But the vast majority of us do. So if you've ever tried to use a cookie cutter to make little cookie shapes, well, what it does is it cuts, and then you pull away the excess, and got your nice little shape, whatever it may be. But if you try to do that with like liquid, it's not going to work very well. Because the moment you pull that cookie cutter off, it goes right back. So what I mean by that is, each individual, we're different. The way I respond to a situation is not the same that my son will respond to a situation, or my wife will respond to the situation. Now, as a family and having similar interests and beliefs and stuff like that, yes, our stuff have a tendency to be along the same lines, but they're not always the same way. So if you do that on a broader scope of each individual that has different backgrounds and everything else, then it becomes harder and harder. So, they want, to look at crime statistics, and they want to blame video games, they want to blame the guns, they want to blame this ethnic group, they want to blame this religious group, they want to blame this, that, or the other, and blanket it as a whole. Alright, so if we get rid of the video games, violence will end. Or, if we do this, we do that. So they try to give a blanket solution to something when the problem can't even fit in their little box or their cookie cutter that they're trying to delve it down. Now, if we take it back and we look at the simplest form of it, then I know when I was growing up, we were told that there were two sides of the story. And honestly, that was a fallacy, because there was actually three sides. There is what this one group tells you. So you got this image. So for this example, you got faction A that wants to tell you one thing. You got faction B that's telling you another side, and then what you see. So there's three sides of it. So, what you see from the picture and stuff like that. Now, with the faction A, faction B, or the two sides of a story, somewhere in the middle is the truth. And that part is accurate. You have faction A telling you what their side of the story is. You got faction B telling you what their side of the story is. And you got what you see. And somewhere when they all intersect, there lies the truth. But we want quick, easy answers for problems that are going on in the world, and we want even quicker and easier solutions to whatever is going on in the world, whether it be a disease, economics, whatever the case may be. And it's not that simple. Especially when usually faction A and faction B, they have their agendas, they have their own personal goals and stuff like that they want to go through. So then that skews their point of view of the truth. And so then you got two point of views of the truth and stuff like that. And again, still in the middle, you've got the actual truth. Um, and so you've got all these different things that are contributing to the not really the problem, but they're not contributing to the solution. If you get what I'm saying. So, you know, um, again, trying to cookie cut something that's fluid is just not going to work. There's not an easy answer to what's going on. There's not an easy solution to the things that go on. We're humans, we're complex, we change, we evolve, we do all these different things to survive and to hopefully make the world a better place. Not always, but that's what we all should be striving for. So, trying to do the cookie cutter solution, cookie cutter problems, and then doing a blanket solution that'll fix it, because that would be great, but that's not the way it works. Um, and then, like I said, you've got people that have got their agendas and stuff like that, and you've got people that they jump on the calls of the week, they jump on this, that, or the other, and they just run with it because the spotlight's there. And then once the spotlight fades, they stop, and that's why we can't make progress. So you have these instances where they're bringing about change and everything else, and then something else comes along and distracts them, and they get bored with it or whatever the case may be, and the solution the problem doesn't go away, and the solution's not met. But now it's not getting the attention anymore, and so on and so forth, and we don't make any progress. So I said that there's no easy solution, and it's not. It's really not an easy solution, but there is hope. There is a way to make a lasting change. And it's simply this: start with the person in the mirror. You look at yourself, you start changing yourself, you start seeing the things that are wrong in your behaviors, in your life, and everything else. And then you start leading an example for your friends and your family, and it just has a ripple effect. You can't go out and you can't change the world if you're not going to change yourself. Let's think in for a second. So, like I said, you cannot change the world if you're not going to change yourself. The best way for us to get past any hardship, any injustice, is to start at home. That's not an easy thing to do, because then you're having to look at your faults. You're having to look at your contributing factors to the problem. So, but it's so worth it, because in the end, you'll never know how much of an impact you have by just someone that sits there and looks at you and may think the world of you, or may think that you're complete garbage, but they see a change. Their opinions change. They want to know why you're changing. They want to see how you achieve this. And then they will start modeling it. And then so on and so forth. Now, like I said, it's not easy. It's not an overnight fix or anything like that. It is a daily, constant struggle with ourselves to improve ourselves, to improve the world. It's not something that you can do overnight. And there's going to be times where you want to give up and everything else. But in the end, it's worth it. I'm not the same person I was 10 years ago. If I was, Game Warriors wouldn't be here. My family wouldn't be uh, together. Uh, you know, there are so many things that we can do to fix ourselves that will have impact. So for me changing myself, me struggling to change myself, it impacted my wife, it impacted my kids, it impacted my friends and family. It shaped Game Warriors. It brought about Game Warriors. Um, so my challenge to you is to stop listening to Faction A, stop listening to Faction B, start listening to yourself, start looking at yourself for change. There's no celebrity that's going to have all the answers. There's no social media influencer that's going to have all the answers. And God, there's no politicians that are going to have all the answers. We live in a world where we have information at our fingertips. Research and learn from others' mistakes, learn from your mistakes, find what works for you, what works for your community, and build from there. You are the cornerstone of your community. You are the foundation of your household. You can bring about the change. Um, that's pretty much all I got, guys. So, so next time, this is Charles Almighty Wraith saying, stay awesome. Hey guys, it is Charles Almighty Wraith, and
Wrestling 58.
we hope y'all enjoyed our video and everything. Be sure to check us out on all of our other social media networks, such as YouTube,
Facebook,
Twitch,
Twitter,
Instagram,
and Patreon.
and also be sure to like and share the videos. And all right, until next time, this is Almighty Wraith and
Wrestling 58.
saying stay awesome.